It took some time before she mustered her courage and said, "Thank you for what you did last night, but I don't want it to be mentioned again. Ever. Understand?" Without stopping, he shifted around with a grin. "A simple thank you would have sufficed." "Is nothing ever serious with you?" "If life was nothing but seriousness, duty, and prudishness, what a sad state of affairs it would be, don't you think? When was the last time you had fun, Suna? Just plain fun. Or laughed until your sides hurt?" He turned away and concentrated on the road. "Well, I've gone and done it this time. She'll be steaming mad at me now." Waiting for the backlash he knew was coming, she remained oddly quiet. He braved a quick peek over his shoulder and saw her staring off into the distance, her eyes filled with that haunting sadness he'd come to recognize. "I was born into a life of duty. Even as a wizen, I undertook the responsibility of keeping the village of Kenora safe and healthy. Everything I know and everything I do is for these lands and its people. I know nothing else. And my prudishness is none of your concern," she added with a scathing glare. "A Divinian is still a person. They breathe, piss, and laugh, just like everybody else. True, you had duty. We all had duty. Hellfire, we still do. Have you stopped to think that perhaps it was your destiny that maybe, just maybe, King Marcus's death was an ebbing of tides? Or perhaps that Divinian duty you cling to like a security blanket ended when he died? Is it even possible for you to fathom that it was his time to pass, and your duty, as you call it, finished then? Or how about this? It's beginning now. You've floundered so long in your guilt that you've condemned yourself to a life of misery because you think that's what you deserve. This guilt is mine. I bear it because I must. It's penance for my failure. King Marquez and Queen Celeste should both be alive, along with their child. I must live with it, no one else. And because of it, I do not share it. How do I find happiness in life when such emotions are gone from me?" Taking a deep breath, he spoke slower, extracting more calm from within. "But there is, Suna. You found it in Maddie. You found it in Herod, Tana, and their unborn child. You found peace in their small corner of paradise, and there's no way in 7 hells you're going to tell me differently. I find it heartbreaking that you don't realize that, especially now, knowing what we know. If we don't find that key, how much joy will there be left in this world? Whatever time we have, shouldn't we make the best of it? Otherwise, life has no meaning. And for me, life's worth living for now. Whether you're a Divinian or not, you're still human." His outburst wounded her, evidenced by the redness staining her face. He also knew no one had ever said such things to her, or with such frankness before, but he had to make her see herself with different eyes. Piece by little piece, he was determined to hit upon those severed nerves and try to ignite them back to life. The deep-rooted inner failings she'd nurtured for so long had to be fixed, and damn the gods, he was going to try to do just that. She unnerved him in ways he found disturbing, like her ability to read his mind, but she excited him far beyond the realm of any other woman he'd known. Never in a lifetime would he meet another like her. Why he felt this need to fix her was beyond his scope of comprehension, and to be perfectly honest, he'd passed the point of trying to understand days ago. Her steely stare held him long and hard until a deeper flush spread over her cheeks. Surprisingly, a delicate smile curved the fullness of her lips. Stunned, Farron shook his head and focused on the road ahead. For a second there, he could have sworn the smile had reached her eyes. "This has been a great testament to my strength," she said, after several minutes of stilted silence had passed. If she was trying to bait him for another round, he was pretty sure he wouldn't get away unscathed this time. "What do you mean?" he asked carefully. "Since starting this quest, I've been arrested once and have fallen ill twice. It certainly doesn't say a lot for me, does it?" He couldn't hold back a snicker. "Well, it's a start. Things like that just make you more human." He cast a sidelong glance and heaved a sigh of relief when he saw her nod. Several hours later, the air filled with the sounds and smell of Valhallion's gates. Farron looked to the dun and saw Suna now shadowed within the red hood of her cloak. They rounded a bend in the road and soon joined other carts and horses headed in the same direction. Travelers nodded cordial hellos. Traffic continued to build the closer they got to the gates until they were elbow to elbow, many of them complaining about having to take the Georgia ferry route. When they crested the next hill, the sun-bleached wooden spires of Valhallion's gates came into view.